Well, I'm Bonnie Green, so or Bonnie Dix some days, depending on the day. But this is myself, and my partner here at work is.
I'm Angela Friend.
And we just wanted to talk today to give you a perspective, because Angie's been all over half the country in the US as a passenger, and I've done it as riding. So we wanted to get like our ladies in there to talk about how the biking experience is. What is Harley Davidson?
It's a lifestyle for sure.
Well, definitely. It is. It's like the first thing you'll think about is, like, lots of people will think of Harley Davidson as a bike, but it's so much more than a bike. Okay. It is. And I know that's an old adage, a lifestyle, but it really is.
Okay.
The
When you
trips,
go,
the friends.
when you're out on the road, it amazes me every single time. If you're in car, you pull up, get gas. Mm-hmm. Nobody talks to you. Nobody says hello. You pull in on bike, you meet so many people. They come over, say, "Where are you from? What are you doing? What kind of bike is that?" And it's just a different feeling.
It's just the bike. The Harley Davidson bike just connects people. So it doesn't matter where you're to. I've been like riding through Milwaukee, and you'll have someone come by and they've seen the Newfoundland plates. "Hi, I'm from Newfoundland," or whatever gas station you move. People will just come over and talk to you, right? So I've been riding for a little while, and in all honestly, I've rode them all. I've been on everything. The first Harley I ever rode was a Heritage Softail, and I rented the bike in Florida, and we like rode down and did the Keys, and that was it. I was hooked. There was nothing else. And I even tried to talk myself out of it, because I just thought I didn't want to fall into that trap. But it's not. Like, there is something different about the Harley Davidson. It's not just a bike, like we said, it's the whole lifestyle. I don't know, I get goosebumps. I know that sounds crazy, but I do. And from that moment on, there was nothing else.
Well, with me, I've been, I guess I've been around Harleys now, 13, 14 years. And I've always been a passenger because I'm too nosy. I'll be out in the buckwheat, I would say, but
I gotta look around.
I gotta look around at people's gardens, and you know, when I'm on the trips, and you know, and I'll pick out like, "Oh, Sean, let's stop in. There's an antique store," or, "Oh, let's go there. Look, there's a covered bridge," and I'm the one. "Oh, there's a waterfall." Like, it's just so. And just the sound, and we did. We really enjoyed our long trips, like the Smoky Mountains. We did. Blue Ridge Mountains, we did Tail of the Dragon. We came across one trail one time. It was, what was it called? It was called Moonshiner's Run, and it was all uphill. It was all in the mountains, so we were going up, and when you were coming down, there was parts you were like a water slide, and just no music, just the sound of the bike, and just
looking. It has to be experienced. It's hard to explain it. It has to be experienced. And this, you know, it's just places you can go somewhere in a car, and then you can go and then you go there and you get on your Harley and you do it, and it's totally different experience.
I sooner ride now than fly.
Absolutely. You only fly now to get somewhere to pick up another bike and ride. If you can't ride there on the bike. My favorite. So, like I said, the first Harley I ever rode was the Heritage Softail. So I do have sort of an attachment to that because it was the first Harley. But I'm on my dream bike. I have a Harley Davidson Street Glide, and that's my dream bike. I can't imagine. I've rode to Milwaukee and back, and usually if we do a bike trip wintertime, we'll fly in and we'll rent Street Glide. And just before the pandemic, we did the Pacific Coast Highway. And there's, listen, everyone has their own special bike, but it's a Street Glide for me. I just love it. It's my favorite.
And with us, where Shauna's ride 2 up with me, we did start off on the Street Glide, which was comfortable, like for 2.
It is,
But we moved up to an Ultra, and that's like the big comfy couch for me.
It is, absolutely. Got to be.
When you're doing the long trips, you need that comfort.
Yeah. Like the culture, well, certainly a culture.
It's a culture. Even like when we go to buying shows, and I get goosebumps every single time. It's all over the world. So you walk into the dealer shows, and you've got thousands upon thousands of people, and they're wearing Harley Davidson clothing, and everybody has the same interests, the same passion, the same I don't know how to I don't know how to explain
No,
it.
it is so. Like I always tell
And everybody
people,
had talked to you, like thousands. Like I met one couple. I was in Nashville, and you know, I just went over and introduced myself. We were up dancing the whole night, and then a year later, we were in San Diego, and we were outside in this big field party, and you're talking like over 6,000 people there, and she knew I liked to dance. So when I went up to the stage, lo and behold, out of all thousands of people, this one girl comes up. I knew you'd be here.
yeah,
And that's just the lifestyle
and that's
of-
the connection. It's like just because people love Harley Davidson, they love the brand, they love the bikes. It's like you know each other,
know
and
it,
even though you don't,
It's definitely a family.
Yeah, it is definitely a family connection that keeps, you know, like I said, you meet up with people and you have so much in common because you have a love of the brand. I always tell people, I didn't always work at Harley. I went and bought a bike. Yeah, and then here we are. Favorite stories? How do you pick one, Ange?
First long trip we did, that's the time we did Smoky Mountains. So anyway, before I left, people were telling me about Georgia and Georgia peaches.
Well, of course, you go to Georgia, you want
Right,
peaches.
Georgia peaches. So, Jesus, we went everywhere looking for Georgia peaches. So anyway, we came across this little spot. I can't even call it a store. And it was like a little fruit place. So anyway, we went in. So I went and got peaches. I mean, they were this big. And anyway, Sean says to Buddy at the counter, he said, she's been looking everywhere for Georgia peaches. Oh, and as I was biting into it, he said, the best peaches are in South Carolina.
Yeah, so
Too
it's
little
not
too late, Buddy, I've just drove through that.
not Georgia peaches at all, the South Carolina
No, it was
peaches.
South Carolina. And I searched everywhere. I wouldn't leave Georgia without a peach.
But look at all the neat little places you found when you were looking
absolutely.
for it. And that's part, I guess. So I guess one of the things that was on my bucket list, I always wanted to do the Pacific Coast Highway on bike. So that was fine, I did that. That was interesting. Listen, I'll be back to do it again. There was nothing like it. But one of the most interesting, we decided we were in Vegas and we rented bikes and we were going to do Death Valley. And we were only going to go into Death Valley and do a little bit of it. But anyway, GPS wonked out and we ended up like, we left at 9 that morning, got lost in Death Valley and never got out of it until 11 o'clock that night, and I was nearly froze to death. So, but anyway, yeah, so do Death Valley in February when it's not too hot and be out before it gets dark because the desert really do get cold. But so many experiences and all these little places that you run into when you're looking for something. And
When we were doing the Smoky Mountains, it was kind of dark. It was just starting to get dark when we were coming out. You would not believe, you look inside and there was like little cubs.
yeah,
So the traffic was backed up and we were on bike. And anyway, I tapped Shannon on the shoulder. I said, Dave, people realize we're on bike, right? I said, there's a mama bear somewhere where there's cubs. And anyway, it was getting darker and more cubs were coming out and my heart started to beat a little bit.
yeah, I would say, because like I said, Mama's not far away from
Yeah,
those cubs.
Mama's not far away.
And I guess, I don't know, so many great trips on bike. It's always the best trip, but I think Hoover Dam maybe too. Like, it was just such a phenomenal experience riding across Hoover Dam and just imagine what men can make in such a long time ago without the technology they have today. So, but
It is the funny stories too, like with people that you go
travel with.
Like,
yeah.
we travel a lot with good friends of ours, Scott and Janet, and I'll never forget. It was so hot down there when we went, and Janet had big sunglasses on. so she looked like Fred Flintstone, like in a dark shade.
Yeah.
It was right. So we went into, we stopped at a gas station, so I went in and used the washroom, and I come out and she said, Ange, you're a big. And I said, what did I do? And she said, you set me up. I said, for what? The lady behind the counter said, girl, you gotta do something about this.
Yeah, there's countless stories.
So funny, and I didn't set her up.
So many laughs, so many good friends. You make so many interesting places you see, and so many interesting places and people you stumble upon when you're looking for things like Georgia peaches, for example.
Georgia peaches.
So
South Carolina, folks. South Carolina.
got the best Georgia peaches.
And then
But,
Sean, he picks up every accent there is.
yeah, depending on what area you're riding
Yeah.
in, his dialect changes.
We went to, when we were down in the south, so we picked up that little twang. And then another place we went was Washington. So we got a cab, and the cab driver says, "Where are you from?" So he starts off and he says, "We shipped our bikes to Toronto." And I said, "Oh my God." I said, he picked up the southern accent. So anyway, that's always a great laugh too.
So we always tease him a lot about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess the bottom line is that, you know, the world is out there, and I like seeing it from the perspective of a bike, and I know you enjoy it too. And like I said, in a car, you experience it through a window, but when you're on a bike, there is no other experience like it. I just would love for anybody just to have the chance to experience just some of the things that we've seen, you know, just being on bike, and some of the good friends we've met, and you know, and when you're going through those little back roads, when you're going through wine country up in Ontario, to, like, you know, these little corner stores and the friendly people, and everybody stops to talk to you when you pull up on, you know, when you pull in on a Harley.
And the first trip that we went on, everybody said to me, "You're never going to be able to do it." And I said, "Why not?" Because they said, "You can't pack light." And I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, is that right?" So I went. I'm telling you, ladies, there's lots of YouTube videos out there to show you how to pack a bike.
You be.
And
Yeah.
I had one saddlebag, and I had a week's clothes in there, and I had room for another week.
That's right. Listen, I had room for a pair of boots. I even bought a pair of boots on a trip, and I can remember Rick saying, "You can't buy them, there's nowhere to fit." And I said, "I'll make them fit." So it's how you pack.
That's
and
right.
I tell you, we are experts when it comes to packing for bike trips.
And when we came back through customs, and he said, "You buy anything?" I says, "Don't go there." I says, "It's a sad day. I couldn't buy a shirt."
Yeah. But that is changing. Like, and we see it here.
Changing.
You'll see, and I'm sure people have noticed it. Like on the road, there's a lot more lady riders now, and we see it in here. There's a lot more ladies in looking for bikes, and I like to tease the guys here and tell them that I ride more than anyone else here.
She probably does too.
Yeah, and it is like we see it all the time. So
how many kilometers did you put on your bike the first year?
I think the first
21.
year I had almost 28,000 I put on her the first year.
That's just on the island.
And that was on the island, so there was a lot of riding. But you know, that just shows the love for it. But we see, and I guess that's the other thing we sort of wanted to get out there to the lady riders. It's like, you know, or any ladies that are out there. It's like, you know, you have any questions, you want to know anything, from either perspective, whether you want to ride, because I like to tell people, like, even if you're a passenger, like, you're experiencing that Harley Davidson.
The only thing you're not doing is driving.
You're not twisting the throttle, you're
You
honest.
probably see more.
You probably do, and that's true, because from the nosy perspective, you do
right.
get to
I
look
see a
around
lot.
more. I tend to watch the road, right? Yeah, but you know,
Devin,
so
I know what color siding's on your house.
Exactly, right? But I probably would miss that. But anyway, yeah. So like I said, whether you want to be on as a passenger or you want to ride, like, it's just nothing like the Harley Davidson experience.
And I love it.
We both do.
Yeah.
For any ladies out there, and I don't care how old you are, if you're interested in riding, like, give Harley a chance for sure, because, and I always like to tell riders that doesn't matter your age, whether you're 16 or whether you're 60, it's never too late to learn to ride a bike, and it's never too late if you have that dream. Because I had that dream, and I tried to talk myself out of that dream. I always gave the analogy online that I wanted a dog one time, and I didn't, and I said, no, I can't have a dog. So I kept getting cats, and I ended up with 4 cats, but I still wanted a dog. So I was sort of like that with bikes. I ended up with all these different bikes, but the bottom line was, I always wanted a Harley. So never give up on your dream if that's what you want, of getting a Harley or even riding. And I guess the important thing is, even if you're out there, it doesn't matter what you're on, but if that's what it is you want, if it's a Harley Davidson, I'm telling you, we got it here. And there's not a person around that we can't make a bike fit you. So if this is what you're thinking, because I'm 5'2" and I'm on a street glide, we can make any bike fit any lady. So if it's a Harley you want, this is the place to be. Don't look back.
And same goes, like if you and if you love to ride like I do, and you're content to be a passenger, you'll see so much. You still get that feeling. You'll still meet the same people.
Yeah.
And there's no other
nothing like it.
way.